Oh,
You don't
yes,
look
I'm ready.
shy at all.
I'm ready. I actually enjoy sessions like this.
Good, me
I
too.
enjoy I enjoy talking about style, so
Yes,
very,
yes,
very much
wonderful,
ready.
wonderful. Okay, so today's topic is, and this is Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Okay, you guys know whenever I come live and I'm the one who has guests on, it's my Instagram live talk show, which is called Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. And all of the replays can be found on my YouTube. I've been doing Tea Time for about 4 years. So as you can imagine, I have had some fantastic guests like Olere on my tea time. I've had, I mean, so many, the holistic psychologist, some really prominent women from Nigeria. I've had so many people on my tea time. So today we are discussing one of my favorite topics. As you guys know, I do love to dress up. I love to dress up. I love to look good. You know, it's just, it makes me feel good when I
Mhm.
dress up and when I look good. It makes me feel really good. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I'm a girly girl. I love my dresses. I love my skirts. I wear jeans as well when it's cold. It's winter time, so I have to start wearing my jeans and my long pants. But I'm a girly girl, and I want every woman to understand their style. Because if you understand your style, it will boost your self-confidence and your self-esteem. So, who better to talk to us about style than the gorgeously beautiful Olere? I have to be able to pronounce your name. You know I'm Yoruba, you are Edo.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't sweat it, Dr. Yabo. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So
It's
tell
all
us about
Larry.
yourself. I have your bio, but I want you to tell us about yourself. What do you do and who are you?
Okay, my name is Oleri Odior, and I'm a transformational style coach. And I'm focused more on helping women in leadership dress for success. And women in leadership, I mean mid to senior level professionals, I mean coaches, I mean experts and consultants, women that are in leadership or women that are looking to go into leadership. So if women that are already in leadership, I help them dress for success. And women that are looking to go into leadership, I help them dress for their next level of success. So that's the bottom line of what I do.
Okay, that's wonderful. And that is so needed because first impressions last, correct?
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of
Why
course.
why do first impressions last?
Well, because according to research, over 60% of our communication is nonverbal, right? So when someone sees you, even before you speak, before they get to know you, they're making assumptions about you. They're making their own theory, their own conclusions about you. And this is based off of, what you look like, how you present yourself, those nonverbal cues that people just pick up on. So it's very, very important how you present yourself because that's the first thing anyone sees. People make the mistake to think, oh, it's all about what's in my head, brains. Yeah, brains would get you far, but make no mistakes, how you present yourself will get you first into spaces. It will get you into the right rooms, into the right spaces. And of course, your brains is what you need to keep you in those spaces. But before you need your brain to keep you in those spaces, you need access, right? You need access to step into certain places. So yes, it's very important how we present ourselves. It's just natural psychology that we make up conclusions based on what we see. We're human. We're human beings. We're not God. It's only God that looks at the heart first because he sees you beyond what you look like. But we're human beings. It's just normal, natural human instincts.
I love it. Well, some people will say that people like judging them. People like to hide behind, oh, they're judging me because of the way I look, but that's not how I
Mm,
well. You just rightly explained it now that as humans, it's human nature. People are
mm-hmm.
going to judge you by the way you look. So
Of course.
so that was my first question. Now let's just dive in to all the other questions. What exactly is style? What does it mean? What does the word style mean?
Well, thank you, Dr. Yabo. Before I answer that, I'd like to hear from the people on this live because I like I like sessions to be quite
Good.
interactive, and sometimes there's no wrong answer per se. So I want to know what is style to you. If you're here, wherever you're listening from, or wherever you're tuning in from,
Start
please leave a
typing.
comment. Leave a comment. I want to know what's style to you. What
That's
style
wonderful.
to you?
I love that too. I love, yeah, participation with women. Yeah. So
Yes,
ladies, start
yes.
typing away. What is
Hi,
style?
what's when you hear the word style, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? What do you think of when you hear the word style?
Start typing away, ladies. Go on, go on, go on. What is style? STYLE.
Style is your brand slash personality.
Okay.
I am Holalade said style is your brand slash personality. Very correct.
Yeah.
Very correct. Any other definition before I give mine?
Somebody
Any
said
other?
style means appearance.
Style, in my opinion, is how you express your. Oh, nice, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Style is fashion that fits your personality, expression of my person through. So I'm trying to establish something here, and I'm so glad that this life is full of very intellectual, beautiful women. I'm
Yes,
glad
so
about that.
yes, so my community. Don't joke with my
Yes, Dr.
community.
Yabo.
Well, you're one of them.
Of course, you have a very, very awesome community, and I'm glad that all these women are here today. Yes, everyone gets it. I'm glad that you understand that style is beyond the clothes you wear. So I'm saying things like it's a form of expression, it's your personality, it's your brand. So I'm glad that people understand that style is beyond just the clothes. It has very little to do with the clothes, but more about style is more about identity. It's more about yourself. So here's how I'll define style. When I talk of style, I mean personal style. We're talking about personal style. So when I say style, it's just a short form for personal style. So style is when what you wear, how you shop, and how you feel in your clothes represents your personality and your values. I'll take that again.
Repeat that because I like that. The last part of that definition was key. Repeat it, please. I'm writing it down.
Style is when what you wear, how you shop, and how you feel in your clothes represents your personality and your values, right? So personal style starts first from self-discovery. A lot of people make the mistake to think, a new year like this, people are doing new year, new me. Some people, their goal for the year is to change their wardrobe. I need to shop, I need to change my wardrobe. But before you do that, you need to do some inner work. Because why people keep shopping, keep living in the same kind of cycle. They keep shopping for things, they keep shopping year in, year out, but they're still in that dilemma of, I don't know what to wear. How many of you here have experienced something like this? You have so many clothes in your wardrobe, but when you still have an occasion, you're still scrambling for what to wear. Who has ever experienced that, or who is experiencing that? Please leave a comment. Please leave a comment. If you are in that, can you please repeat that? Okay. I said style, personal style to be precise, means when what you wear, how you shop, and how you feel in your clothes represents your personality and your values, or reflects your personality and your values. So that's what style is. Yes. So OD Journey said, of course, this is a very, very common phenomenon. You have lots of clothes, but you don't have anything to wear. It means the problem is not really about the clothes. There's something that makes you keep shopping the wrong pieces. It just seems like an unending cycle that you keep finding yourself in. So I say first, and that's why when I work with clients, the first thing I do is mindset work, because as women, research has it that 91% of women are unhappy with their bodies. So body dysmorphia is
90,
very
91%.
91%. That's a staggering amount of people. That's a staggering amount of women that
Wow,
are
wow,
on,
wow, wowza.
yes. And
I'm
that's
not
why
one of
things
those.
and that's why things
I'm the 9%.
of course.
Honestly,
Of course.
I'm the 9%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to believe, Dr. Yabo, that you are 50 plus, because you don't even look a day above 35.
Thank you, my love. It's God, oh. To God be the glory. I owe it all to God.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. All right.
So are we done with that? Are we done with that, or do you still want them to interact more?
Yes, I think a lot of people have talked about,
Okay.
they've mentioned them, how they they have lots of clothes and nothing to
Okay.
wear. So yes, we've covered that.
So the last part of your definition, I'm going to come back to that later in the conversation. The part where you talked about and how you feel in your clothes represents your personality and your values. That one hits me. Your values. It's going to come up later on. So let's just hold that thought. Now, my next question for you is, are we born with a unique style of sense of style, or is it something we acquire as we live through life? Are we born with style, or do we acquire style?
That's quite an interesting question, Dr. Iyabo. We are not born with style. No one is born with style. Style is something you acquire. And that's why it's possible for your style to change over the years, right? So sometimes as you mature, as you move through life, maybe your experiences, where you intend going, all these factors come together to play in your personality as well. Your personality is a huge part. All these things come together to affect how we want to present ourselves. So it's not something that you're really born with. It's more of an acquired thing, something you acquire along the way.
Okay. So then, does it really then depend on who our friends are, who our acquaintances are? Do women tend to have more of a sense of style of their friend group or their inner circle?
That's quite interesting. I don't think your friends, the way your friends dress influences how you dress, really. I don't think it does, except you have super stylish friends. If you have friends that are super stylish, you might find yourself wanting to, because I experience it with friends I have. When I have friends that don't dress up that much, because they see that I always like to dress up to wherever I'm going, they too kind of want to step up a little bit.
Okay.
So it can influence your how you present yourself.
Okay.
In some way, in some shape, in some form. And it could also influence you negatively. One thing I also find that holds certain women back is that they've known to dress a certain way. Their friends have known them to look a certain way. So there's this kind of guilt feeling also that comes with wanting to improve their style. They feel like, am I not presenting as though I'm better than these people now? So there's that guilt feeling. So in that sense, too, yes, your circle could hold you back, or your circle could kind of give you a push. But I don't think in the big sense of it, I don't think it's really that significant. It could be significant to a certain degree, but I don't think I don't think it's a sole determinant, yes, of how you present yourself. There are other factors as well. That could be a factor, but yes, there are other factors aside from your group or your circle.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said something when you were answering this question in the beginning. You said your friends see that you dress up wherever you're going. And that really struck me, because that sounds like me. I don't want to say that I always dress up to a T everywhere I'm going, but I make sure I look presentable, even if I don't have makeup on. Even if I'm taking a walk in the neighborhood, I look presentable. I'm not just going to open my door and go outside my door and look like somebody who, so I always make sure I look presentable.
Yes.
It's not about lashes, it's not about makeup. But I wanted to ask you that what kind of mindset do women who, when they leave their house, they put on, some women in America, I'm sure it doesn't happen much in Nigeria because we women love to dress, but in America, some of our sisters leave their house in a sleeping net. You see them at the grocery store with a sleeping net that looks like they have a shower cap on, or they have their bedroom slippers, or they have PJs on at the grocery store. Can you help us explain what kind of mindset do those women have?
I like that question. And Dr. Iyabo, it happens also in Nigeria. It might not be as prevalent as it is in America, because Nigerians, we dress up. We love to dress up.
Right.
But it definitely, yeah, but it definitely happens there. I think I would say what happens with those kind of women, I think it's a total lack of self-awareness.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's a total lack of self-awareness, because if you, I feel like if you know yourself, which I think is where style starts from, it starts from an identity. I have a coaching program. It's called the Total Diva. It's my most transformational style coaching program. And one thing I tell women is, when you come to the program, the first mindset you need to have is, you need to first step into the mindset of a diva. You don't say, oh, when I go through this 8-week program, then I emerge a total diva at the other end. No, you step into the program first assuming the mindset of a diva. And who is a diva? A diva is a woman that is intentional. She's intentional about every single thing. She understands that she is a moving, walking brand. A lot of people don't know this, but you are a moving, walking brand, whether you have an online presence or not. As long as you are a human being, you are a brand. Yes. And you're selling yourself with or without your knowledge. Now, what's that thing? How are you selling yourself, really? What's that conclusion people are drawing about you? So people that just leave their house, with sleeping bonnets on, I just feel it's a total lack of self-awareness. It's a total lack of self-respect. It's a total lack of a misunderstanding of their true identity.
Well said. Very well said. Two more questions came up from that. So there are a lot of women out there, and I think it's more with the younger generation, 20s, I guess, maybe 30s too, who the feminist movement has kind of confused them. And sometimes I have to also put, if my daughters watch this, Moni and Rennie, sometimes we have a discussion and I have to correct them and say, don't let this feminist movement confuse you, please. I'm a feminist, but I'm a feminist with common sense. Okay? I practice common sensism. So a lot of the feminists...
I like that, common sensism. I love that.
I said it the other day. I thought I was just joking. I didn't even know it was a real word. I practice it's a real word.
Really?
It's in the dictionary. I was just playing around with my phone one day and I'm like, let me even look. Is this a real word? And it's actually a real word.
Wow,
but I feel like the feminist movement has confused many young people. Feminist movement gives them this sense of a fake freedom where it doesn't matter. I can go out dressed however I want. And who likes it, and who doesn't like it, it's not my business. And it's a very destructive way of thinking, coming from me, a 53-year-old. So do you want to comment on that? Do you feel like this, how we say in Nigeria, this I don't care spirit, whatever, I can go out naked. Yes. And if men stare at me, it's not my issue that they're staring at me. I'm naked, but it's not my issue, it's their issue.
That's interesting, actually. Yes, I think that the feminist movement might have a role to play, but sometimes I just think it's a thing of the individual. Because there's something I think I've talked about this as well on my page. I think as women, we have too many, there are too many rules on how we should be. So when it was a feminist movement, it was, you're equal with the man, you can do what a man can do, 50-50, tussle, struggle with the man. But people fail to realize that men and women are very different. We are very different.
Yeah.
The way we move in the world, if you as a woman want to move like a man in this world, you'd miss it.
You'll get tired.
You get tired, you'll be overworked and all that.
Exhausted.
So the feminist movement is there and it has its baggages. But something I've also found an issue with is the recent femininity movement, which I think sprang up to counter the feminist movement. So it's the idea that, oh, as a woman, you're a delicate flower, which I love, right? Just relax, don't do anything,
The soft
rely
life.
on a man, this soft life, rely on a man 100%. So I think that, Dr. Iyabo, so I think what happens is women are, when something new springs up, people are jumping on it. Oh, now it's feminism, let me jump on it. Oh, now it's femininity, now it's time to drop feminism, let's jump on this one. Tomorrow it's another thing. So I think the problem here again is a lack of self-awareness, a lack of identity. You do not really know yourself, because when you get to that point where you know yourself, you won't be swayed by every wind of doctrine. You know, with the femininity movement, they're like, oh, women, you know, this is how to dress, you know, dress in sundresses, dressing, which is beautiful. Dr. Iyabo, you said you're a girly girl, and it's evident. It's evident in how you appear, it's evident in how you talk, but not every woman is a girly girl.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So it's
I agree.
understanding who you actually are. I had a client once, and she told me, because when I work with clients, I like to find out what they are naturally drawn to. Because as a personal stylist, the last thing I want to do is put my clients in styles that's mine, right?
Yeah.
Something
No.
that they don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
in, because that's a problem, that's something some stylists do. And you know that, I don't know if you watch some of these shows, what, like, was it Style Me? There's a show Jinimai had where they bring people, I think it was in the late early 2000s, I can't really remember, but you know, over the years there's been these different style shows where they just bring people, transform their style, and you know, research has shown that many of those people relapse. They just go back to being their former selves, because sometimes people just put people in styles they think, oh, this looks good on you, but like I said, style doesn't start from the clothes itself. It starts from the individual, from the person. That's why it's called personal style. So this thing of women appearing a certain way because of feminism movement, I think it's actually because of a lack of self-awareness, a lack of understanding who they really are. So a self-identity that's not so defined. So I think that's actually where it starts from.
Very nicely answered. Thank you. So I'm learning so much myself. And I'm getting so many other questions that are coming up as you're answering them. Basically, what you're saying here is what we as women who are always evolving. Because for me, I know that I'll never stop learning until the day God calls me home. I have a growth mindset, but every extra day I live on this earth, I have even more of a growth mindset. I'm always learning, unlearning, growing, and I know you are the same without any doubt.
Yes.
But one thing that stands from even everything that we've learned from you so far is that, honestly, it all starts from within. You know, now you're even making us understand that style starts from within. It's all about the self. You've talked about self-awareness over and over. You've talked about self-respect over and over. So, you know, women, at least this is what has struck me from what Olere has been teaching us, that we have to remember it all starts from the self. I want us to practice pointing these figures into our own hearts and taking the time to introspect, to learn about ourselves, to know what makes us alive. What is the meaning of our life? Today I watched the church service. I watched it online. I didn't go into church, but what our pastor talked about is so similar to what we're discussing in a way. He talked about the meaning of our life, that you can actually pass through life always looking for happiness, always seeking for happiness, always thinking about what is going to make me happy. It's like this, you know, you're pointing at other people and you're like, what can they give me? What can I get from them? How can I be happy? Instead of thinking, what is in my heart that I can give to other people? How can I make the world a better place? What are my values? What's my purpose? What's the meaning of my life? So it all starts from here. The minute if you want happiness, think about your self-awareness. Think about, who am I? What do I have to offer the world? What are my values? And that's all what you're talking about here. I have a question for you. Sometimes when we hear the word diva, we hear it in a negative connotation, but the way you said it today, it was positive. Can you talk about that? Because sometimes when we hear diva, it's like, she's a diva, it sounds bad, but you said it as if it's positive. Which one is it?
Oh, I see it as a positive thing. Fun fact, the Total Diva, the name came about from a client of mine. It didn't used to be the Total Diva. In fact, it just used to be upgrade your style, I think. So a client of mine went through the program, and her testimonial, when I asked to, how was your experience like taking the program, and she goes, "Oh, I feel like a total diva." And that was the that was the first time the word really stood out to me.
Okay.
A diva is mostly used for like pop stars, a diva like Beyonce is considered a diva and all that. But I feel like a diva is a woman that's bold, a woman that's confident, a woman that is her true, authentic self. That's a diva. And that's why I named my coaching program the Total Diva, because like I said, I'm more a transformational style coach. I'm not a personal stylist, even though I do some personal styling. So a personal stylist is more someone that does kind of a one-off job. So maybe you want styling for a photo shoot, you want to declutter your wardrobe. Yeah, I do that as well. But majority of my work is more transformational, where we start first from the mindset. Because women have the idea that I have to look a certain way. If my body was a certain way, if I had an hourglass figure. But like I said, research shows that 91% of women, so including women with hourglass figures, they still have body dysmorphia. They still feel like, oh, there's something wrong with my body. My boobs are a bit lopsided. My hips are a bit low. Oh, my tummy, my this, my this, my this. So yeah, so for me, a diva is that woman that has stepped into her real authentic self, a woman who is confident, a woman who is not afraid to express herself, a woman who stands in her power. That's a diva.
You're a diva if you're bold, if you're confident, if you stand authentically in who you're meant to be. You're a diva, and it's a positive word. So don't let anybody trick you, right? Very good. There are questions coming up, but before I take questions from people, I have to go into self-esteem. You know me, that's one of my favorite topics, because a lot of women struggle with low self-esteem. Okay, so what is self-esteem? What does it mean?
Self-esteem, according to the dictionary, is self-perception. So how you view yourself, how you perceive yourself, that's self-esteem. So it's not an external thing. It's not something you get from someone. It's not about how people view you. It's about, how do I view myself? How do I perceive myself? That's simply what self-esteem is.
Why do you think so many women struggle with low self-esteem? Even the ones who are not aware of it. I believe there are few women who are aware, but I believe the majority of women don't even know that they have low self-esteem. Why do you think so many struggle all over the world? It's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's not a Hispanic thing. Why do so many women struggle with low self-esteem?
Okay, yeah, but that's an interesting question. Why do I think many women suffer from low self-esteem? I think it's a couple of things, but one of the things, again, it still boils down to a lack of it's an identity thing. I think a lot of women move through the world not knowing who they really are. So that's one thing that can lead to you having low self-esteem. Another thing is comparison. So as women, the need to compare yourself with another woman is there. Oh, I think, she has something that I don't have. Maybe you feel like, oh, she has the perfect body. Like I said, people think, oh, the hourglass figure is the best figure. But in style, there's no best figure. There's nothing like best figure. Yeah. There are clothes that fit the hourglass. There are clothes that an hourglass can absolutely not rock. So there are clothes that that's an inverted triangle, would rock and look fabulous in, that would completely look hideous on an hourglass. So again, comparison is another thing that leads to to low self-esteem. When you compare yourself with another woman, when you see yourself in the sense of, I lack this thing more than, instead of I have this thing, instead of looking at the things you have, you focus on the things that you think that you do not have. That's something too that can lead to self-esteem, low self-esteem, as well as, like I mentioned, the lack of self-awareness, really understanding your identity, who you truly are. These are things that, in my opinion, can lead to low self-esteem.
There's no way to be, there's no faster way to be unhappy and unfulfilled and apathetic in life than to keep comparing ourselves to other people.
Exactly.
If you want to be sad, if you're looking for a way to be sad and unhappy and disgruntled, just keep comparing yourself to other people, because that there's no end to that. It's infinity. And a lot of women go through that. It's infinity. It will never end, because if you don't, you're not comparing yourself with this person, you're comparing with the other person. So you better work with what you have, because guess what? God spent time on you to create you the way you are. He spent time on you, and there's so many natural ways to make yourself better. And the natural ways to make yourself better will make you a lot happier than comparing yourself. Many women are couch potatoes. They don't take care of themselves, but they're dreaming and wanting to have Beyonce's body. So I'm like, you want Beyonce's body? Beyonce dances. Do you know how many times she's constantly working out? She probably eats the best of the best organic fruits and veggies. But you sit down like a couch potato eating chips and cookies every day, but you want to have you want to have Beyonce's body. People are going to start laughing. They know me that I'm going to say it out how it is. No, really. If you want to be unhappy, just keep on comparing yourself to other people.
And Dr. Iyabo, do you know another thing?
Yes.
Women also compare themselves to their former selves. For example, I've worked with a lot of plus-sized women. And there's this thing of, because I'm a size 16, because I'm a size 18, I don't think I can look good. I don't think I can, I can show up. I don't think I can show up like this until I shed the weight. When I wish I could go back to this, my size. Then they bring out an old photo and say, I was a size 12 here. I wish I could go back to this.
Recipe to sadness.
I wish I could go back to this size. And the funny thing is, I asked them a question. I said, when you were this size, did you feel like the most gorgeous woman on earth? The answer is no.
Yeah.
So at that size, you didn't feel like your body was still perfect. You didn't feel like, you were beautiful. You didn't feel good about yourself even at that point in time. So the thing is, it's never about it's never about your body size or your body shape. It's all in your mind. It's all about how you see yourself. And until women rewire how we really view ourselves, I think we'll always be stuck in that state of, we'll always have that low self-esteem, especially when it comes to our bodies.
How can women begin to work on that? How can they begin to learn who they are? How can they begin to stop comparing themselves to other women? How can they stop comparing themselves to their old self? How can they begin to elevate their self-esteem? What can they do?
It starts first from understanding that all you need is the now. What's gone, it's gone. You don't have any control over the future. So what you need is the now. And that's why when I work with clients, even plus size clients, I think, I'm working towards becoming a size 14. I'm working towards becoming a size 12. So I think, let me shop in those sizes so I can inspire myself. I say, no, that's a recipe for disaster. It's actually going to have, it's a reverse. It's actually going to have a negative effect on you, because you always see yourself moving towards a goalpost that keeps moving. It keeps moving. So what women should understand is live for the now. Honor yourself now, because you are always going to look back, even now that you feel like, oh, I'm not my best. Trust me, 2 years time, if you don't change the way you think about yourself, 2 years time, you still look back on this your seemingly miserable self and think, oh, I looked better then, oh, I felt better then. But in reality, you didn't. So I think women have to understand first that all I have control over is the now. So I can start showing up for now. I can start showing up for myself now. I can start becoming more intentional about how I present myself, how I appear now. Of course, there's the thing of dressing for your next level of success, which is what I help my clients do as well. So maybe you're looking for a big promotion. Some people think that, okay, when I land that role, you know, when I get on a board, when I land that role, then I will now show up as that person. No, you show up as that. Now, talking about in the terms of your goals, not really in your body type per se. I'm talking in sense of your goals is, I am going to this place. This is where I'm looking to go. So I need to dress like that woman. So if I'm looking to become a very successful coach like you are, Dr. Iyabo, I need to show up like a successful coach. A successful coach doesn't show up online with bonnet, with chapped lips, with, just looking haggard. A successful coach shows up intentionally. So women have to start living for the now. Right now, they have to think of, what do I want to look like right now? So I have to start from that right now. So women have to start living in the now first if you really want to up your self-esteem.
Now I see why I was drawn to you. You're a very smart woman. No.
Thank you.
I see why I was drawn to you, because I'm very intuitive. It's actually one of my gifts. I'm very intuitive. I'm very discerning. I can discern energy. I can discern personalities. I'm very discerning. And I see why I was drawn to you. You are so smart, because you broke that down very simply for women. You simplified it. Women are always postponing their happiness, right?
Yes.
Women are always postponing later, but I can do it later, in 3 months, in 6 months, when, there are this is not only with style, every part of their life, women are always postponing. They're always later, when I tell women, I'm like, whether you're a size 2 or a size 22 or a size 24, if you come to me, I can dress you up and you'll be like, where have I been? It's not about, you can be a size 22 and you want to lose weight because of health reasons.
Yes.
But while you're at that size 22, rock it.
Yes.
Rock that size 22, because the way you carry yourself is how people are going to receive you.
Yes.
Very true. And women, I'm going to say this quickly, stop pointing out your imperfections to people. Especially to men. If you're with women, okay, maybe that's okay, but especially to men, stop pointing out your imperfections. Oh, it's this. Don't do that, because if you point it out to your boyfriend or your husband and then he agrees with you, you will not like it. So focus on the now. You guys, you better watch this replay over and over. It's going to be on my page and it's going to be on YouTube, but all you have is now. So make the most of it. Before we go on to the questions, I'm going to start taking the ladies' questions, because there are many. Procrastination is a major challenge for most women. Absolutely, Joy. And Joy, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for buying a badge. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Joy. Somebody asked a question here, but I want her to retype it because I don't quite understand it. Vera, you said, Auntie Iyabo, is it right to lie to people that want to figure out things about yourself? I don't quite understand that question. Can you rephrase it and type it in the question bubble? Are you saying that if somebody is curious to know about what is going on with you and you don't want them to know, is it okay to lie? I don't quite understand this. So please rephrase it so it's easy to understand and type it in the question bubble, please. But the first question that came up was, will this video be saved? Of course, it will be on my page on Instagram and it will also be on my YouTube. Then Olere, your first question is, what parts of the feminism movement do you find harmful for young women today?
The feminism movement.
Yeah, what parts of it are harmful to young women?
I think the parts that are harmful is telling women that women are the same with men. You know, we kind of touched on that initially. Even in leadership, women in the way a woman leads is very different from the way a man leads. And if you try to compete like men do, you'd burn out, like you rightfully pointed. You'd be stressed out, you'd be worked up, you'd be angry. So I have that problem with the feminism movement that men and women are the same, or whatever a man can do. Yes, a woman can do certain things. I think we all have our strengths. As women, we have our strengths, and as men, men have their strengths. As women, we have our weaknesses. Men have their weaknesses. So I think it's, for me, it's the competitive thing, like, oh, women trying so hard to be like men, instead of looking at progression or growth more in a complementary
Yes.
way. So if a man has this and I have this quality and he has this quality, it's more a complementary thing rather than a competitive thing. So that's where I have an issue with it, because I don't think society as a whole can move forward if we are constantly competing against each other. I think we thrive best when we are more complementary to each other. So that's a problem I have with the feminism movement.
Wow, wow, wow. I put that down. I'm going to write that in my journal. I love it. You said, yeah, it's healthier to be complementary to men rather than competitive with men. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I love that. And that's actually a way to also describe how to manifest your feminine energy. Yeah, as you were saying it, I was thinking about feminine energy,
Yes.
how
Yeah.
to be complementary to a man rather than competitive with a man.
Yes.
Oh, I just love it. It's making me feel so because that said so much. If you can just think, women, please write that down. Learn how to compliment your man rather than to be competitive with your man, because it will help you dwell in your feminine energy and you'll make a better girlfriend and a better
Sure.
wife. Wonderful. Okay, next
Sure.
question. So, how do you revamp your style? This is the next question. I've been tagged as the boring church girl with my style. How do you revamp your style? May I tell that person that Olera is here? The answer to that will be when we're done, send her a DM,
Of course.
because she can't. I'm answering on her behalf because we're all individuals. She's not going to be able to tell you how to revamp your style without knowing who you are. So please invest in yourself. Like I say, go to her DM, send her a DM, and enroll in one of her programs and let her help you with her transformation, with her expert transformational style coaching. Right? What would you say, Larry? She said, how does she revamp her style?
Of course, you're absolutely correct. That's why if you even go through my Instagram page, I don't do a lot of tips and tricks, because style is not a one size fits all. Like they make us believe. They make you believe, oh, are you an hourglass? These are recommended outfits for an hourglass. Are you pear shaped? These are recommended outfits for a pear shaped. I take myself for example. Before I ever discovered my style, I'm rectangle. And all the outfits recommended for rectangle, Dr. Iyabo, I hated 99.9% of them. One, they didn't look good on me. I didn't feel confident in them. It was not until I started really understanding, started taking style from a holistic point of view. So, like I said, it starts first with you. Who are you? How would you like to be perceived in the world? How would you like to move in the world? How would you like to be remembered? So all these things, and that's why in my coaching program, I tell women, write in 3 words, use 3 words to describe what you would want to be known as. So when someone meets you, what are those 3 things that you want them to say about you? Do you want people to say, oh, you have this powerful presence? Do you want people to say you're so feminine? Do you want people to say you're elegant? Do you want what are those 3 words that you want people to describe you as? So it's a whole process. There's also understanding your unique body type, which I always say your body type is beyond hourglass, this, that. There are nuances inside of your body type. And when you understand these nuances, you even understand that even the kind of fabrics that look good on you. I'm working with 2 different clients currently. One, her recommended style factor, she looks good in clean lines. So clean lines, crisp cuts, things that have definition, things that don't have a lot of patterns, things that are not busy. The other clients, on the other hand, looks good in mismatched patterns, you know, bold, different. So people, bodies are so different, personalities are so different. So until you understand this, and most of what I do is helping women create an authentic personal style, create a style that is consistent and cohesive. So a signature style. So it's not just, I always say, it's not just about wearing clothes. It's about having an identity through style, wearing your clothes in a way that it's unique to you. When people see you, people can just say, ah, there's something about how you dress. There's something about you. So what I do for me is helping clients, guiding them to creating their signature style. So something that reflects their most authentic self. So that would be my answer to you. Like Dr. Iyabo said, slide in my DM. I can share my consultation link with you, and then we can talk about how to get you started in one of my programs.
Wonderful. So this question is from me, then I'll take the next question. As you were talking, I'm thinking to myself, and I going back again to the, are you born with style or are you not born with style? Talking about myself, and I say this humbly, I feel like I do have a good eye for fashion. And I believe my mom also had the same, because I always talk about my mom a lot. I mean, she mostly dressed in Nigerian attire, but oh my gosh, she was always the soul of the party, very elegant, very confident. She carried herself with so much grace and so much elegance. So do you feel like you have an eye for fashion? I feel like some people just naturally, it's not a bad thing. Some people just don't have an eye for fashion. Like there are some girlfriends you would go shopping with and you'll be wondering, why are they picking that thing? And you're almost wanting to tell them, because that thing looks good on me, doesn't mean it's going to look good, but you don't want them to feel bad. And you're like, oh, you know, but so do some people just have a better eye for fashion and some don't?
Yes, Dr. Iyabo. Some people just have it. And especially if you're going to go into like personal styling, if you want to enter any form of style coaching, there's an eye that you naturally have. People always say, oh, there's a thing, there's some clients I just get just from watching my videos. A client I had, she said what made her enroll in my coaching program was that she watched the video where I was talking about how to find your body type. A lot of stylists, in fact, all the personal stylists I've heard will tell you get a tape, measure your body. But I tell people that the way your body measures and the way your body looks, they're 2 completely different things. You have to judge your body on the way it looks, right?
Yeah.
And
Isn't that for a tailor? Aren't you meant to be taking measurements for a tailor, not for a stylist?
Exactly. And this is something that I had to find out by myself because I noticed it. I noticed that no, a lot of stylists will say measure, but I noticed that no, this is not accurate, right? So yes, to a very large extent, there are people that are just born with the eye. It's just a gift. It's just how some people are born with creativity. Some people just have that creative streak. Some people can just draw. It just comes naturally to them. Some people can just arrange a space. It comes naturally to them. But that's not to say that it cannot be acquired. So that's where coaching comes in. So not everyone is blessed with that gift. Everyone has their own unique gifts. Some people are blessed in, some people are very analytical. They can do all the calculations. I might not be able to do that. In fact, I'm not good at calculations, analysis, and those things. That's someone else's strength. So, but some people have more of a creative, which I think you are, Dr. Iyabo. You strike me like someone that has a very creative side. So people like that, it's easy for them to, have great eye. Some people just have this natural quirky style, but it looks good on them because, again, it's that creative thing. It's that creative side that they have, but not everyone has that. So if you don't have that, no problems. It's okay. It can be learned, of course. So yes.
I love how you said that. It's okay. It's
Yes,
okay
very okay.
if you don't know, because many women get into this cycle, like we've been talking about, comparison and competitiveness, competitiveness, comparison, competitiveness. So it's okay. And this is why we need each other.
Yes,
This
yes.
is why we need each other. There are many people in my life that help me make my life work. It's because I don't try to do all of that. I've had a CPA since residency days. I've had a CPA for 25 years, the same CPA, because I'm not going to try to manage my numbers and my business and my accounting by myself. Right? I have a personal assistant who helps me run errands, because even though I can run my own errands, I don't want. So we need each other. So it's okay if you don't know how to do something.
Yes.
You just have to invest in other people. So for all of you who are watching this and watching the replay, and you're like, I don't like my style, I don't like how I look, I don't like, this is why I brought you the expert. Olere is here today, because you have to show up as you want people to receive you. Okay?
Exactly.
You have to show up as you want people to receive you. If you don't, even online, in real life, anywhere, when you walk into a party, you have to walk in with confidence. Okay? So, next question. How are we doing with time? Okay, let me go, because I know sometimes I talk a lot. Okay, I love this question. Listen to this, Olere. What do you do when people make snide comments like, oh, you're always dressed up?
What do you do? That's your problem, actually. I don't think it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So people say things like you're always dressed up. It's not because it's a bad thing. I think sometimes people are just uncomfortable. They're just not comfortable when some women, it still boils down to this competitive thing. They feel like, or, because a woman looks good or she's dressed up, instead of you to say, oh, I like the way you look, or can you help me? Can you help me? Instead, they want to bring you down. So you don't pay mind. You don't pay any mind to people like that. You don't pay any mind to them. Why are you always dressed up? You say, because I love myself. That's why I'm always dressed up. Simple.
Wonderful. To the person who asked that question is obviously a negative question, which reflects on them. It's a question that
it's not your problem.
Yeah, it's not your problem. It has jealous connotations. It has envious connotations. It has lack of self-love connotations. What I want to say to you simply, Lois, because I know you follow my content a lot, is be careful of those women who say those to you. They're not your friends. Okay? That's as my 53-year-old self would advise you on that. Be very careful of them, because there is a jealous and envious connotation in there. That's all I would say. They're saying that to you. They envy you because, like Olere said, what I don't know, Olere. Tell her she can tell you all of the compliments I've given her in her DM. Even today, I've told her how much I admire her, how she's smart and beautiful. This is why I go to bed every night like a baby. I sleep like a baby. I don't hold any grudges or anything. You have to be able to send love out into the universe. What does it take from you to just tell a woman, wow, you know what? I admire your style. You're always so well put together. You look so beautiful. You look so awesome. That brings happiness to you. It brings happiness to other people. But so many women who lack self-love, rather than saying that, they'll rather say, why are you even always so dressed up? Where are you going?
Sure.
You see the difference? So my advice to you would be cautious of those women, because they may not have your best interest at heart.
Very true.
Yeah. Olere, let me go on to my next question. How does our self-esteem affect our style? I think we've kind of talked about this, but we can touch on it again, because that was my next question for you.
Okay. How our self-esteem affects our style?
Actually, let me ask you both questions together, because it goes both ways. How does our self-esteem affect our style? And how does our style affect our self-esteem?
That's interesting.
Because it can go both ways.
Yes. How does our self-esteem affect our style? How does our style affect our self-esteem? Okay, so let me start with the first one. How does our self-esteem affect our style? So of course, if you have a healthy self-esteem, it's going to be reflected in how you present yourself. Like we rightfully said, self-esteem is all about how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself. So if you see yourself in the right light, so if I see myself, if I say, you know what, I'm a diva, I'm gorgeous. So it's only natural for me to want to show up that way. I cannot honestly feel like I'm a gorgeous woman, I'm a beautiful woman, and dress in bonnets because that's not aligned with how I'm feeling inside. I cannot dress in bonnets and sleepwear and go out in public and say, oh my God, I feel I'm such a beautiful woman. And you know, Dr. Iyabo, is something that I teach my clients as well. You know, there's this thing in Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria we can joke a lot about there's this thing of I'm a fine babe. I'm a fine babe
Yeah.
now, you know, I'm a fine babe.
Yeah.
Which which could mean I'm beautiful. Fine is I'm a fine babe means I'm a beautiful babe. But I find that it's such a downplayed way of referring to yourself because I find that women are very scared. They're not bold to really refer to themselves as beautiful, as
Mm,
gorgeous, because they don't really feel that way, as attractive. They don't really feel that way. So
I get it.
they downplay it by saying things like I'm a fine babe, because you know when you say it like that, it's casual. You feel like no one can really argue with you. You know, you're not really
It
serious.
sounds more it sounds more humorous than serious.
Oh yes, 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 exactly. So first of all, you have to really understand, you have to really feel that, you know what, I'm such a beautiful woman, I'm such a gorgeous woman, and because I am this woman, I have to present myself as such. So yes, of course, when you feel that way, when your self-esteem is healthy, when you know who you are, it's only natural to want to present yourself in that light. So even if you cannot do it, you find someone that can do it. You find that, and it's one criteria too I look out for when I am working with women. So I want women that really know what they want, not women that are like, why do you want to improve your style? I don't know, I just like to, you know. No, you should move with purpose. You should move with, you should have a goal. So when you know yourself and you know that, okay, this is how I feel inside, or this is how I want to feel inside, and I would want it to be reflected outwards. That's how you, that's where it starts. So when you feel, when you have a healthy self-esteem, of course you would want the outwards to match with that. And then inversely, when you dress well, it also again adds, you know, it reaffirms how you feel about yourself. So I think it more reaffirms it than creates. How you dress doesn't really create that self-esteem. I think it's a thing of reaffirming. It only reaffirms that, yes, this is how I
Okay.
feel, and this is matching up with how I feel. How you dress can affect in some way, even if you do not have any self-esteem. How you dress could improve it, because there's this research that was carried out where they gave students an experiment or so, and they split them into groups. Now these are students that don't know anything about, they're not scientists, they don't know how to do these experiments, but they split them into groups. One set they gave regular clothing, and another set they gave doctor's coats. So the ones that they gave doctor's coats actually performed way better, significantly better than those that just wore regular clothing, right? Because it's a
Wow.
psychological thing. There's also research where they gave men in sales, they gave some regular clothing and they gave some suits. So the ones that are in suits, that were in suits, could close more deals, could negotiate better than the ones. These were all skilled people, by the way. But of course, how you present yourself, what you wear can really affect your self-esteem, can affect how you really feel about yourself. Some of us might have had a case of, you know, you run into an old classmate in public and you are looking a mess, and you just be feeling so horrible that today that I did not dress well, it's today that I'm running
Doesn't
into, you
matter.
know, someone. But you find that when you run into someone and you're looking your best, you're so confident and you're happy that you actually ran into someone today that you're looking good. So yes, how you dress can affect your self-esteem. It can impact your self-esteem, and your self-esteem in turn can impact how you appear.
Yes. So they're kind of like, they feed into each other. Yeah.
Yes, they
Okay.
do.
So somebody just typed here and said, you might have a good sense of style and still feel less confident if you have low self-esteem. Is that correct?
I think, and that's where that might be correct to some extent, but that's where I talk about when I talk about style, like I said earlier, style is not about clothes. So if you make the mistake of going to buy clothes first instead of doing the inner work, which is working on your mindset first, doing all the other.
Repeat that again. Say it again.
So I said, if you just go and buy clothes, style is not about clothes. I must have established that already.
Yeah,
Style is not about
but
clothes.
it's hitting deeper now.
Yes. So you don't change your style just by changing your clothes. No, you are always going to you're always going to relapse. If you change your style, if your style is just based on, if you think it's just based on the clothes that you wear, no. So that's why, like I said, when I work with women, it's first the mindset thing. So I first work on your mindset, how you view yourself, how you perceive your body. You have to rewire all those things before we look at now, okay, what's your style? What are you naturally drawn to? That's another thing. And I talked about having a signature style. And I said it's different from looking good. Some people can dress, that's why I say style, anybody can put clothes together. It's not just about putting clothes together. It's about having something that's unique to you. And you cannot honestly go through that process and still have low self-esteem. It's not possible.
Correct. I totally agree. I totally agree, because again, it goes back to the inside, right? It goes back to what's within.
Yes.
You can dress to a T, so I don't know how to put it. You can dress to a T and you're just masking the work that you should still do within.
Yes.
And this is why you wonder why some people who are dressed in the best designer stuff will see you and you are dressed in secondhand clothes and they're still envious of you. It's because of the style. And I refer that to myself because women, every time I wear J. Crew earrings, my DM is full. Where did you buy the earrings? Where did you buy the earrings? I'm like, J. Crew. I remember the first woman I said J. Crew. She's like, J. Crew as in the $40, $50 earrings. I'm like, yeah. I said, I do have my gold jewelry, which I mostly inherited from my mom, but I don't wear that every day. I wear these earrings because I love color, I love style. And they're like, what? And I even tell them that sometimes I shop from the second-hand store. What do we call it in America? I forget what we call it here. The second-hand store. Sometimes I do. Yes, I live in a nice area. The second-hand store in my area is pretty nice, but what I do is I take some of my clothes I don't want anymore. I take them there. They sell my clothes for me, and I buy some and I dry clean them. And when I wear them, people are like, "No, you didn't buy that for $10." I'm like, "Yeah." So that kind of explains it, that you cannot mask your style and your personality just by putting on clothes, and that's why people need somebody like you. Because you work with that transformation.
Yes.
Oh, I'm loving this. This is so powerful. I wrote down that quote. You don't change your style just by changing your clothes. Oh,
sure.
I love it when I'm talking to smart women. It just makes me feel so, no, honestly, it makes me feel so good. Yeah. So I have one question for you before we go on to the next question, because the next question this lady asked, I wanted us to warm up before we go in there, but I have a question for you. If there's a woman on this live today or who watches the replay and she's like, it's easy for Dr. Iyabo and Olere to say this. Look, I'm a mom that has 3 young kids running around. I have a husband running around. I have a business. I have a job. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. This is why I just go out to the grocery store with whatever clothes on. I'm tired. It's not that easy. What advice do you have for that woman? Because there are many like that out there.
Yes, I like that question, Dr. Iyabo. And Coincidentally, a lot of my clients are busy women, so they're professionals. They're people that have like tedious jobs. They're leaders. They're always on the phone. They're always doing one or two things. Some have businesses and they have a family. They have kids and all. This is what I'll tell you. There is never going to be the right time. You can only have 24 hours in a day. That's the truth. And the thing is, no matter how, because let's think of it, when you were in the university, it seemed like you didn't have enough time. It seemed like, oh, after classes, next thing, I'm trying to settle in, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, read, study. You didn't feel like you had time.
It's true.
And you felt like, when I graduate, when I start working, and then I'll have time. But lo and behold, you graduated, you started working, you didn't have time. You got married, you still didn't have time. You had kids, you still didn't have time. Now you're thinking, okay, maybe when my kids grow up. The truth is, time is very evasive. You're never going to have enough time until you think that you have to think of things in sense of priority. I once had a client that took my program. Sometimes she'll skip. Oh, she's like, I'm so busy. My work is so demanding because I make them. There's a penalty when you skip, of course. So she's like, oh, it's because of my job. It's so demanding. I asked her, let me ask you a question. If you were given an offer, say you were told, you know what, every week you're going to be paid $10 million. All you needed to do was come on a call for 5 hours, complete a bunch of assignments. Would you have time for that?
Good question.
She smiled. She smiled. So it's a thing of priority. You have to ask yourself, how badly do I want this? How important is this to me? If I don't change this, or if I don't fix this, what do I stand to lose? If I can get my style on lockdown, what do I stand to gain? So if you can answer these questions, then you understand that it's just a thing of priority. You would never, even if you were given 48 hours in one day, it still wouldn't be enough. It still wouldn't be enough. Time hits a vacuum. It still wouldn't be enough. Something would take up that space. So until you see your style as a priority that you need to make time for, not something that just magically appears when you think you have time, then that's really where you need to start.
Great answer. Priorities. Quick question before I go to that one. What about how to dress while you're at home? Because I tell women all the time and they're like, oh, it's because, your marriage is new and you just married 4 years ago. I'm like, I said, ask my ex-husband, even in my previous life, I didn't just dress anyhow at home. Okay. You're married and so do you also coach women on that, on how to, still look presentable for their husbands at home?
Of course, what I do, like I said, it's a transformational style coaching. So it's all round. It's how you present yourself all round.
Good.
So, and that's one thing about style. When you fix your style, it just seeps into every area of your life. Because remember, we talked about identity. When you know yourself, when you know that I'm a diva, I cannot be at home and my hair is all over the place, my hair is scattered, I'm dressed in rags. And one thing, the mistake women make, they think that the clothes you wear for your house clothes are either hand-me-downs or things that are worn out.
No.
And now you turn them into house clothes.
Gosh.
You don't know that you actually shop for your house clothes. Yes, you actually shop for house clothes. And of course, I guide my clients with that as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so this next question is going to step on some toes because I will say some things that women don't like. But this nice lady, Zomi, has opened the door to that question. How do you show some skin and still be decent?
How do you show some skin
and still
be decent?
Decent.
Yep. You absolutely can show some skin. You have to think about what's my objective. I say there's a difference between being sexual and sensual. You know, as a woman, you naturally have this sensuality about you. It's, you know, it's an energy thing. And yes, you might enhance that by showing a bit of skin. But when you're moving to one thing, you should not try to be sexual. So you have to think about what's my objective really. So there's a tasteful way, of course, to show skin. It's never tasteful when it's done overboard. So just maybe a little bit, just a little tiny bit of cleavage. So the rule is don't do two things at the same time. So don't show cleavage and have a long slit at the same time. So I just think it's all about moderation. And like I said, you have to think about it and ask yourself, what are my objectives? You know, Dr. Yaba, you were initially talking about how people say, I don't really care about, I'm dressing, maybe I don't care about how people perceive me. I will wear what I want to wear. Because sometimes women have this, some women kind of deceive themselves to say, you know, I can wear anything. I can wear revealing clothing. I'm not trying to attract anybody. I'm just dressing for myself. Really? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because you can't wear extremely revealing clothes and tell me you didn't think about anything in your mind. You didn't think this was intentional. It's not possible. So you really have to think about what's my goal, what's my objective. If my objective is just to dress like a beautiful, respectable, sensual woman, that's fine. You can show a bit of skin. But again, the ball is in your court. It all depends on you. How do you want to be perceived? That's the bottom line.
As always, you answered it excellently, and I learned something else from you. Do you want to set a sensual kind of image, or do you want to perceive a sexual kind of image? And this comes to something I want to say about myself. My 53-year-old self, I don't have any shame in my swimsuit. I post myself. You can go on my page. I post myself in I only wear one piece. I don't wear bikini because my stomach, I've had 2 kids and my stomach is, but my stomach is flat, but you can tell I've had kids. But
stomach is flat.
So it is. Oh, my stomach is flat. My stomach is very flat. It's flat. It's just wrinkled up because I've had kids. Oh yeah, and I do have a flat stomach. I work out a lot, so I do have a flat stomach, and I'm proud of the work I do. But I don't have any shame to wear a swimsuit. This year we are going to go on a couple of vacations at the beach. And women, those of you who are offended by me wearing swimsuits, I'm just warning you. You may want to unfollow and block me now because I will post. I will post myself in a. Don't give. I always tell people, look. Don't give I don't know why you guys give yourself trouble. If you don't want to see something, just move on. Just block the person.
Exactly.
You can't control me. So, but I do want to. I want to use that as an example on a serious note that when I post myself in a bathing suit, yes, I do have that sensual, feminine aspect of me, and I'm a very confident person. If you guys haven't seen that yet,
yes.
But if I compare the way that I put myself out there in a swimsuit and I compare it to how some people put themselves in a swimsuit, I'm not going to be in a swimsuit and show you my bum from the back. And even if I do, I think there's been 1 or 2 times I did do that where I was walking and my husband and I filmed myself from the back. To me, I felt confidence in it, and it wasn't in a sexual way. So again, like Olare said, it depends on what you're trying to portray. You know what you're trying to portray out there. When I do that, all I'm trying to portray is I'm confident in my own skin, and I want women to feel confident in their own skin.
Exactly.
The person who takes me those pictures and videos 99% of the time is my husband. He's fine with it. So if my husband is fine with it, it's nobody else's business.
Exactly.
But you guys know me that I'm stubborn. So, but I wanted to use that as an example that it's not about, like, you'll see some women in a swimsuit on Instagram, and the way they sit with the swimsuit, their legs are like that.
Yes.
Okay? You get what I'm saying? Their legs are like that. Or, so it's all about what I like how you put it, it's about what you're trying to put out there. There are many, many Instagram videos and pictures you'll see. I'm not judging anybody. That's fine. Some women are obviously out there to attract the attention of men because you know they're everything is out there. If it makes you happy, that's fine. Just remember, the only thing I do want to say is that the kind of men that you're attracting by putting yourself out there sexually are not men who will take you seriously.
Yes. Very, very true.
Do you have anything to add to that before I ask you my next question?
Very, very true. All you said, very, very correct. And in fact, okay, if I like you for one specific thing. You show up authentically, and I love that about you. And I think it's such a beautiful thing when women especially show up in their authenticity. Because when you are your authentic self, the problem is when you try to copy someone. You know, when you try to copy someone,
it's exhausting.
It never hits.
Exhausting.
It's very exhausting. So I like that about you. And I like what you said too about the quality of men you attract, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been at the point where I was still trying to find myself. You know, I used to feel like I have to dress this way. I have to reveal, because that's when I would really attract people, because I was not confident. I had very low self-esteem. I didn't think I was genuinely beautiful. I think I had to do something extra. I thought I had to present myself in a sexual way for men, but the kind of low hanging fruit men that I was attracting when I was doing all that, it was appalling. And I kept wondering what I was doing wrong. I kept wondering why am I getting all this kind of men. But the minute I ladies, you don't lose anything. You don't lose anything when you dress properly. You don't lose anything. It's over. So sometimes when I even hear women, and Dr. Iyabo, I think when you talked about the quality of men you attract, sometimes when I hear women, you know, all men want from me is sex. All men are very sexual with me. I want to ask them, how are you really presenting yourself? Because there's a way you present yourself that a man has no, a man has no option but to respect you. So even if that's what he wants from you, there's a way, there's a way he goes about it. It's not so overt because of how you carry yourself. There's a way he kind of goes through. He's not direct with it. But if a man is just direct with you about what he wants from you, he wants your body or there's a way. You have to really look back sometimes and see, how am I really presenting myself? It might not really be about your clothes or what you're wearing, but sometimes it's even your body language. How are you presenting yourself? So yes, I just wanted to add that.
Women don't want to hear that. Okay. Women, let me tell you something. If you're attracting low quality men, if you're attracting men who only want you for sex, if you're attracting men who come to your DM and tell you that they want to see your naked body and you're entertaining it, it's your fault. Okay?
Sure.
It's your fault. You are in control of your own life. Okay? There's no man that can come to me now and start, I don't condone disrespect. I don't condone any of that. Because first of all, the way I even portray myself, there's no man that is going to come to my DM. And if they come, I just block them. So women, if you are attracting low vibration men, low quality men, I think what we're talking about now is even the post I just posted today. I think the graphic I posted was women who keep on saying that men don't know what they want. And I say, if you're a woman who keeps saying men don't know what they want, you're actually the one who doesn't know what you want. And you are the one who hasn't healed. You are the one attracting low vibration men and low quality men, because there are millions of high quality men out there. Perhaps you've thought maybe they don't want you. Ouch. women keep saying men don't know what they want. Have you ever thought about it that
They, mm,
maybe high quality men
mm,
actually don't want you?
one, that's that's Dr. Yabo, you're shaking tables.
Maybe it's actually the low quality men you keep
Mm,
attracting
mm,
because
mm-hmm,
you haven't worked on yourself. How
mm-hmm,
about
mm-hmm,
that? How about you stop saying that blanket statement, men don't know what they want? Let me tell you something.
mm,
High quality men know exactly what they want.
mm.
Perhaps it's not you. That's why you don't attract them.
Fact.
Women
Fact.
don't want to hear the
Mm-hmm.
truth. You'll notice that in the last
True.
couple of days, I've been putting up posts
Mm-hmm.
for women to think about what they're doing. Women are
Yes.
not liking it. They're
True.
not liking it. They're all in my DM complaining about it. That
Mm,
post about why men cheat, I've blocked so many women because, oh, you're
mm.
condoning cheating. You're saying women are the fault. I'm like, you know what? When I'm talking about what men do wrong, all of you are happy,
True.
right? Women are very
Mm-hmm.
happy when I'm saying men do this. Men, when it comes to the time that we need to look within,
In words.
there's a lot of resistance. So men
Mm.
know what they want. Perhaps it's not you.
It's not
That's
you.
why
True.
you're not attracting them. And perhaps you need to stop dating and work on yourself. Perhaps you need to
Mm.
take 1 or 2 years off of dating, sign up for Olere's coaching, sign up for
Style
my
coaching
coaching.
program. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sign up for both of us and elevate yourself and become aware of yourself and just stop saying things that don't make sense out of your mouth, like
Mm.
men don't know what they want. Because I'm telling you something, high quality men know exactly 1,000,000% the kind of women they want, and they will not, just like
Very
us,
true.
how we don't settle. High quality men will never settle until they find those
Mm.
high quality, high vibration women.
True. Very true.
I think I should be a teacher in my next life. Like,
I mean, but what you do, Dr. Yabo, would we could consider it teaching. Yes, I think coaching.
it is
Mm-hmm.
teaching. It is teaching.
Yes,
Okay,
sure.
let's wrap up. We've done 1.5 hours. So my last question for you, and then after this last question, Oleri, I want you again to tell women which platforms you're on, how they can find you, how they can work with you, because I brought you on to my show today because I believe this is a big gap for many women.
Mm.
Style and confidence and elegance and opportunities. And that's my next question. All of that, many women are leaving opportunities on the table
On the
because of
table.
the way they show up in the world.
Mm.
Many women. So my next question for you is, how does our style and our class and our elegance and sophistication, how does all of that affect our opportunities in life, and how does it affect our overall happiness?
That's that's Dr. Yabo, I like your questions. They're very insightful. They have so much depth. They
Yes,
have so much depth. Thank you so much for
you're welcome.
these powerful questions. Okay, so how does our style, please come again. How does our style, elegance, class,
Class
I would like
and our
to hear the
sophistication,
question
and
again.
just basically how we carry ourselves and how we dress. How does that affect our opportunities in life, and how does it affect our overall happiness?
Okay, okay. So basically how you dress, how does it really affect the opportunities that you attract?
Yes.
I would say I mean it's a no-brainer. The way you present yourself, it really impacts on the kind of opportunities that you're given.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I earlier said that yeah, it's good to have brains. People always talk about brains and stuff, but the truth is there are lots of women that just have average brains, but because they know how to present themselves, because they have the right network, they've picked up on other kind of skills that's just beyond the brain, those women actually get ahead faster.
Yeah.
And because most of the work I do is with career women or women in leadership have this mindset and belief that they, to get ahead or to get that promotion, I need to work harder, I need to put in extra hours, I need to get an extra degree, I need to do this. And there's something I always say, Dr. Iyabo. I always say that the people that actually get ahead faster in life are people, especially women, because men understand this trick, and that's why men get ahead very, very fast, very, very fast. Men think more in terms of strategy than actual hard work.
Yes.
And that's why men win.
Yes.
But women are not strategic when it comes to opportunities. They are not. They think, oh, I need to work extra hard. I need to get another degree. No, you do not. I always say this, that the women that get ahead in life are women that understand that. I hope everyone can hear me. I don't know if it's my
hear you.
network.
Yeah.
Okay. So I always say that the women that get ahead in life are women that understand that to change something about their lives, they need to change something about themselves. They need to change.
Oh, now you're frozen.
It is never an extra degree. It is never extra hours. It is never something external. And it's even the difference between the rich and the poor. The poor, it's just a knowledge gap. You just need to change something about yourself. It's not putting in an extra work. You don't need to push that truck for 10 extra hours. No, that would never get you rich. It's a knowledge gap. You know that if you know what that rich man knows, trust me, you'll be rich as well. It's just a knowledge thing. So women need to stop looking outside of themselves. They need to stop blaming something else. Like you said when you were talking about men and women, oh, it's low quality men everywhere. How about you look inside? How about you think? So that's the correlation between style and opportunities. It's when you understand that to change something, to attract a certain kind of opportunity, I need to present myself a certain way. There's something that I need to do. I need to work on myself. I need to work in myself, not just outwardly, not I need to do this, I need to do that. No, it's an inward thing. And that's why, like I said, start first from the mind. You don't just jump and go and get clothes. It's not about that. Changing your clothes doesn't really change your style. We established that already. You don't change your style by getting new clothes. No, it's all a mindset thing. And of course, I'm a testament of that. My clients have been able to unlock opportunities. I've had clients who have gotten promotions. I've had clients who have, expanded their business because they took their style seriously, because they went through that process. They didn't put the cart before the horse. So it's all knowing the right progression in how you're supposed to go. So yes, your style, of course, it affects your opportunities, the opportunities that you attract. Because trust me, people are more receptive to someone that looks the part than someone that's not. It's just how life is. And then the second part, you talked about how it impacts on your happiness.
Yes.
Of course, when you attract the kind of opportunities that you think you deserve, or even if you don't deserve those opportunities, because that's another thing. I've been able to step into rooms where I didn't think I'll be able to step into. I've been able to meet with people that I didn't think, Dr. Iyabo, I met you online, right? I didn't think. I was like, wow,
because I came to your page. Let me tell you, I'm going to stop you there. And this is another thing I want to be. It pertains to a reel I'm going to post later today. But I came to your page. Your page was public. For me, again, you can disagree with me anytime, but I just believe if you know what you're looking for online, if you're out there looking for opportunities, I feel like a lot of women are just on Instagram or on social media mindlessly. That is why their platforms are on private. Many women just have private platforms so they can look at what everybody is doing. They're not
Yes, yes.
intentional about being on social media.
No.
Social media is a waste of time for them, because if you're on social media because you're purposeful, you're doing work, you're doing meaningful work, you're doing intentional work, then you can't have a private platform. So what attracted me to you was you had a private, you posted, I think, a comment on my page, and I'm like, oh, she sounds really smart. I came to your page, you were the minority of women, your platform was seeable. It wasn't under padlock and key. It was public. I was able to see you. I was able to see the work you were doing. I went through some of your content, and I'm like, I like the work she's doing. She seems confident. She seems smart. But many women, they have their platforms on private, and they're, it's for safety. I don't want people to look. Wait. It's for safety. So wait, who is?
Who are you? Like, who are who?
You know, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. If you don't want somebody, Instagram has given you the wonderful button for unfollow and block. If you don't want riffraffs, I call them riffraffs. If you don't want riffraffs in your DM, you don't need to communicate with them. You know, you people, women expend a lot of energy on communicating with people. Don't communicate with somebody. Just block them, unfollow them. So I came to your page. I saw your confidence, your knowledge, the amazing work you're doing in the world, and I was drawn to you. You see the opportunity that came to you. This video now, we don't know who's going to watch it.
Yes.
You know, you don't know where this video is going to go. You've opened up yourself, and you know, women, stop all this. If you know that you need to be, your platform needs to be private, then what are you on social media for? A lot of you are just nosy. You're on social media to be looking at what everybody else is doing, but you're not intentional. Are you using your gifts? Are you using your, you know, and if you know you don't want to do anything purposeful on social media, then focus on the outside world. But you, because again, I'm not saying this is everyone, but I believe a lot of women just have private accounts so they can put their nose in what everybody else is doing. And you're just wasting time. Whose life are you changing by your private platform? Whose life are you transforming? You're just scrolling mindlessly and time is passing you by. But anyway, we were talking about opportunities, and you talked about how we met, and I was giving you an example of how I was able to come to your platform and how I was drawn to you, because I could see the work you were doing. And you had very nice, very well thought of pictures, very good posts. I could just have a feel for what drives you. I could have a feel for your passions, and I wanted to get to know you more, and I wanted to show you off to the world.
Thank you, Dr. Iyabo. Thank you. Yeah, so that it just ties into all I was saying. I mean, so something led me to this opportunity, and that's how I've had opportunities even in real life. I meet people in real life, and I tell them about what I do. I've been able to get clients, even meeting people physically. I've been able to step into rooms because I look like, you know, what I say I am.
Yes.
So it's not just about saying, oh, this is who, you know, I have this, but do you really look like the value you possess? And that's why some people could be in a career 5 years, 10 years, they've not gotten a promotion. It's not, the problem is not the lack of knowledge. They have the knowledge, they have the skill, but there's something bigger than that if you really want to move ahead. And if women understand that how you look, how you present yourself plays a very major role in the opportunities you get, then I think women will be way more intentional about how they present themselves. I'm
going to say this, and then I'm going to let you tell women how they can come and work with you. It just goes to how many of my clients who have PhDs and MBAs, and they still feel like they're not enough. When they come to me, they're still asking me, so what kind of degrees do you think I can get? What else? And I'm like, you know, you're already overqualified. You know, you already have a PhD. They have a PhD in something. They want another PhD in something else. And like you said, this is how men and women are different. Once a man has a bachelor's degree, for the most part, he
It's
feels
okay.
like he can conquer the world. You know,
Yes,
he
yes.
feels like he can do everything. But a woman, for a woman, it's never enough. They're always looking for another degree, another degree,
Yes,
another degree to make
yes,
themselves feel worthy.
yes,
Yeah, and it's
yes.
so sad to
It's
me.
sad. It's
Yeah.
sad.
How can women come and work with you? Please tell us how we can find you, how, you know, where they can follow you and how they can come and work with you.
Or you can find me on Instagram. Of course, Instagram is my major platform. You can also find me on LinkedIn. That's my second major platform. So it's still same name, Oleri Audio. And to work with me, you can just send me a DM and I'll share you my consultation link. So courtesy of this life, you get a free 20 minutes consultation link with me. So just tell me you're from Dr. Iyabo and I'll share my link with you. Get a 20 minutes free consultation link with me, and then we can see if we're a good fit for each other, and then we can talk about my programs and which would be best for you. So just send me a DM
Wow,
on
thank
Instagram.
you for that. Guys, did you hear that? A free 20-minute consultation just because you found Olere on my platform. So better go and get, all of you better go to her DM now before she takes that offer off, because if 50 women go to her DM, she's probably not going to do it for too many women. But thank you so much for that. And this was fantastic. I learned a lot as well.
Thank you so
I
much.
saved a lot of the things you were saying here, and I'm going to put them in my journal and remember them. I love that competitive and, let me see, competitive and complimentary. That was powerful. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. This will be on my page. I'll tag you as well, Olere. You can accept it or not, or post snippets. You do what you'd like to do with it. And it will also be on my YouTube channel for those of you who prefer to watch my videos on my YouTube channel. So please, please watch this video in its entirety. Don't fast forward, rewind. Go, even if you were on this live all through, go back and rewatch it and make notes and let all of the lessons sink in. Thank you so much, Olere. Keep doing fantastic
Thank you
work,
so
because
much.
yeah, you're doing great work. Please keep it up and keep changing
Thank you.
lives.
Thank you so much, Dr. Iyabo. It was so amazing spending this almost 2 hours.
I know.
Almost
I
two
know.
hours. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're
Thank you so much. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you. That's
All
my friend
right.
from from long ago. Thank you,
Oh,
Fumi. Bye.
nice.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right.